Welcome back. You're watching Business Morning on Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. Right now, we're turning our attention to developments in the commodities market. We're starting with domestic commodities, and Ada Akonobi, who is an economic research analyst with financial derivatives company, joins me now. She's back from her vacation. She had a good summer. Welcome to you, Ada. And you came back at a time when things have really taken a strong nosedive.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the burning issues. We talk about this every time on the program. What has changed? We know that there's been, some change at the currencies market. If you listened to me when I was talking earlier, we have the Naira hovering around 314 at the interbank foreign exchange market, and very high, 425 at the parallel market.
Well, we know that Nigeria is actually technically in a recession now, so market is actually adjusting to the news as it is. That's why we're having the currency volatile. Now, in the commodities market, we can see that most commodity prices are actually trending higher. You can see that it's evident in the price of cement, it's evident in the price of rice, sugar, and palm oil. It's really interesting because cement prices have actually gone up about 40% from a couple weeks back as it is now, and this is rainy season. So, I mean, you'd be surprised as to why cement prices are going up when demand for cement is actually not as high. The reason for this is technically because of the forex scarcity, which has become a biting issue, which has been quite constant for a while now, and the fact that these marketers have to even buy more trucks and vehicles for transportation, and I mean, that is obviously going to definitely affect the cost of building, which will inevitably affect the rent prices.
I don't know about you, Ada, but I can't afford to build a house right now, but I can afford to pay rent.
Yes.
Just barely. So for those who at this time you're trying to deal with where the economy is, you have currency issues, you have consumer spending also on being threatened, and then you also have the fact that you have to pay rent in maybe in another few days for some, in another few weeks for others. How does this increase now? How do you think this is going to actually affect the price of rent, for instance? Because most landlords who are fortunate to put up houses will be thinking to themselves that at this time I have to get something back for putting up such a building. How much of an increase are you expecting to see?
So as you see, rent prices are going up, not even because of the increase in the price of cement. Other factors as well are driving the price of rent. We know that diesel prices have gone up. Technically everything has actually gone up. So if you want to now, you're going to now factor in the fact that building materials and cement prices are going up. It was at 1,800 per bag, and now it's about 2,200 to 2,300 per bag. So that is definitely going to affect cost of building, which will affect the cost of rent in the long run. But then consumers are actually resisting this price increase because they can't take this anymore. Everything has gone up. It's really a tough time for everyone.
But then, are there any palliatives in sight?
Well, it's just what it is right now. The major issue is still the forex scarcity. So if that is resolved, we'll probably see prices taper down. But as for now, we expect prices of most commodities to go up. Rice as well. We can see how a bag of rice is about 23,000 naira. Even both the local rice and imported rice. But however, there seems to be some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. We expect bumper harvest for locally produced rice. It seems like the ban on rice is actually encouraging most local farmers to ramp up production. However, the rains have been good. There have been no pest attacks, so we expect to see a more locally produced rice, which will definitely soften the high price of rice as it is.
But one issue that I know is looming at the moment is this hike, this talk about increasing the pump price of petrol. We had that done a couple of months ago, about 4 months, less than 4 months ago. And so now that these rumors are coming out, of course, the NNPC and the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources has come out and very clearly said that those rumors are unfounded. No plans. The federal government has no intention of increasing petrol pump price from 145 to even 160 or anytime soon. How do you think this will also affect traders who already, some of them have started pricing that in?
Well, the issue is when they set up the pump price about 143 naira per liter, that was when the exchange was about 228. Now the exchange rate is about, at the interbank market, is about 315, and at the parallel market about 425. It's just, I mean, it's a matter. It's normal that we expect the pump price to increase, but as it is, the federal government has said that they are not looking to increase prices. But oil marketers are actually showing some sort of concern that they cannot continue to import oil as it is, and the problem is that banks are not actually funding LC, so there has been a lot of backlogs, and they can't, and this is causing some sort of unreliability between the source and the marketers, because because of the uncertainty in the Nigerian market and in banks. So if that is resolved, and if the oil marketers and the federal government come to some sort of agreement or some sort of middle ground, we expect that things will actually go on as it is. But for now, there are no talks on increasing prices. It's just sentiments.
But this is just like the first few days of the week. This is the second day actually, and we know that things can happen in the space of a nanosecond. What are your expectations for the rest of the week? Do you expect to see tepid movement around most of the domestic commodities that are so priced, the way we're seeing it, especially around inelastic commodities like rice and beans and the rest of it?
I expect the domestic commodity prices to continue in its trend. I expect prices to actually keep going higher as long as we have that high exchange rate. This would definitely affect the price of most domestic commodities that have some sort of import content in them. But like I said earlier, for rice specifically, it seems like because of the high price of rice because of the high price of imported rice, a lot of consumers are now switching to locally produced rice, which I've actually had one myself, and it actually tastes quite good. So if we could encourage,
so you went on the vacation and became quite adventurous.
I know it is actually quite good. Abakaliki rice is quite good. We have a fada rice. So if we encourage more of this local production in Nigeria, then we should actually be able to produce for ourselves and actually export to other neighboring countries.
All right. Ada, thank you so much for coming on the program this morning, and of course taking us through what's going on in the domestic commodities market space.